today.
Yeah, he is definitely has not pitched as well this year as he had last year. Look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal. The sinker, changeup, curveball, and slider not very often. Right now, basically, from what I've been hearing, is not attacking early enough and not being aggressive early enough until it's too late. So putting guys away has been a little bit of a trouble spot for him. See if he can't change that.
Vierling, the St. Louisan, will lead things off. Baez moves up to the second spot of the order. Green has been hot batting third. Ollie Marmol's tried to figure out a way to slow this Tigers team down, and both of these games have gone down to the wire with the Cardinals unable to finish in the bottom of the ninth. Matz will try to get off to a good start. So important, as the first inning has been rough on him. A 10.5 ERA, 10 hits, 3 home runs, all in the first inning so far this season. Opponents seeing Matz the first time through, hitting .365 with 4 home runs. Gets a strike call on the inside corner, and Vierling wants to know a little bit more about that from Quinn Wolcott, our home plate umpire today. One thing Ollie Marmol noticed in his last start, Matz gave up 4 runs in the first inning and then settled in. He said he was more aggressive from the second inning on. He wants him to be that way in the first inning.
I see guys that go out there and they try to just cruise for the first couple innings, and then they give up some runs and they get mad and they get more aggressive. You got to pitch like that from the get-go. In this league, you'll be down, like you said, 1-0, 4-0 before you can blink an eye.
The 2-2 in the air. First baseman Goldschmidt in foul territory makes the play. Here is the defense from the Cardinals with Goldschmidt at first. There's Tommy Edman. Edman will be playing shortstop today with Donovan out in the outfield. In left, Carlson in center, Nootbaar in right. Arenado, Edman, Gorman, and Goldschmidt around the infield with Kisner behind the plate. Batter is Baez. Very good against Matz, 5 for 9 with a home run.
This is where it gets interesting right here. You got Baez and Green, 2 and 3 are both hot as can be. Baez over his last 10 games, 333 with 3 homers, 7 RBIs, and Green 375. So these guys have been killing the Cardinals the last couple days.
Baez with a home run cut, swings through that fastball. The only bright spot there, as hot as Green is, Matz is good against lefties. They're hitting .150 against him. Righties, .333. And the Tigers stack their lineup with righties, with Green the only lefty in the batting order. Baez smokes one up the middle for a hit.
I mean, the way these guys are swinging the bat, you almost don't even want to throw them anything good to hit. And then looks like he tries to throw him a 2-seamer, but it just stays on the plate. He's taking a hack. But like I said, these two guys wreak havoc, not just on the Cardinals, but like the last 10 games. Like I said, both are just killing the baseball.
You mentioned how hot Riley Green is. 10-game hitting streak. Hitting .375 over that span with a pair of doubles, a home run, 6 RBIs. Second longest streak in his career. He had a 13-gamer last season. And Matz, as we talked about, is using the fastball and being aggressive.
Let me get you too is if you look at a little bit of a stat that no one pays attention to, both these guys have scored 7 and 8 runs in the last 10 games. So somebody else is bringing them in. They're getting on base.
Big swing there from Green. Opponents have been tough on the Cardinals with 2 strikes. Not this time. struck him out, and Matz has himself an out.
Tom, my Toyota key to the game today is going to be for Matz. Just turn it around. He's struggled a lot this year, a lot of different places. He's 0-4 with a 6 in 6 games and 31 innings. He's given up 38 hits and 15 walks, which the walks I don't think is awful, but it's a lot. He's got to put guys away.
Spencer Torkelson, who also has been tough in this series. He has a quick bat from the right side. He's the first baseman, and he gets this one to Edman. Little underhand toss to second base. And Steven Matz gets through an inning unscathed. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Noon in downtown St. Louis, and Nootbaar has been a bright spot for this team. 9 hits over his last 3 games. That leads all of Major League Baseball, as we highlighted in the open. And here's Alex Faedo, who has 1 quality start, 1-5 with a 5.53. Jim, we were talking off the air about Faedo. Here's his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Now you can see right there, it's basically just fastball, slider, change. This is his first start in the big leagues this year. And last year was an interesting stat on him. He started off first 7 starts in the big leagues. He threw 5 innings or more and gave up 2 runs or less. It's only been done by 2 other players to start their career. But the last 5 starts, he had an 11.3 ERA with only 16 innings pitched, gave up 21 earned runs and 14 walks. So clearly he either hit a wall or guys started figuring him out. So thus far he's got only 12 games in the big leagues, and that was all last year. And I believe this is his first start this year. So we'll take a good look at see what happened if you make any adjustments. How about that?
Isn't it something in the big leagues?
One of 3 guys to go first 7 starts, 5 innings or more and 2 runs or less, and ended up at the end of the year with 1-5 and a 5.5 ERA.
It's amazing, but then again, you know, the benefit of video, and it works on the other side too. A hitter can have such a great year, in that second year those pitching coaches and those pitchers and catchers will start to figure you out. Well, adjust.
What's interesting, as you see the fly ball here by Newt, ball's carrying today, by the way. It's nice and hot. You can see that flag out in left field, blowing a little bit to left field, a little left center. What's interesting, I think, is when you can't get guys out as a team, they'll go and see what they hit against other teams, and then they'll find a team that is getting him out, and they'll go watch how they pitch it. So it's not just your own team saying, hey, I see this, or hey, I see that. Let's go find out who's getting him out and how, so we don't have to worry about all the guesswork.
Goldschmidt sends one out of play.
Thought it was interesting with playing with Albert, the end of his tenure here in St. Louis, at the end of mine. Pittsburgh couldn't get him out, and every year we started going there the first week of the season, and they just started pitching him in the whole time, and it spun him into the ground and threw him into a funk, because, you know, he would take the pitch in and then he would wait and wait. They just kept pitching him in and speeding him up, and then it put him in a funk for like 5 or 6 days until he realized what he was doing. But I thought it was interesting to see that Pittsburgh said, well, he hits us anyways.
Goldschmidt deep out to center, way back, it's gone. Paul Goldschmidt gets the Cardinals on the board.
We were talking about yesterday about how guys were starting to challenge our hitters with 2 strikes. Right there, 0-2, slider, homer. Yesterday, 2 strike situations. They went after him with fastballs, and he had 3 strikeouts. Guess he wasn't paying attention. It didn't take long. It's a missile, too.
An absolute rocket from Goldschmidt. 433 feet, 107.9 off the bat. This one's in the air to left center. But the play is made this time by Green. Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's defense for the Tigers. Haas back out in the outfield after spending a day at catcher yesterday. Green and Vierling in the infield. Ibanez, Baez, Scope, Torkelson with Rogers behind the plate catching Faedo.
Trying to figure out if you're a catcher and then they throw you out in the outfield. It's not really a day off on either side. So if you're in the outfield and you're running around, being a catcher is not an easy day. And then if you're catching every day and then they run you out in the outfield on a hot day, that's not much of an off day either. So this guy's legs are probably exhausted.
As my partner pointed out, the ball is carrying today. All three batters have lifted a ball out to center field with Goldschmidt leaving the yard.
In a hurry. And the strike zone is rather large already today.
So when you came to the ballpark, what was your process knowing the weather, the wind? How did you judge how far the ball's going to carry?
I think it's funny too because you can't tell by this time of the day versus 7 o'clock. So you come out here and hit at 3, hit at 4, and then when you go inside and come back out, it could be a totally different ballpark. So you really don't try to adjust your swing by the air or the wind unless you're playing in Wrigley and the wind's blowing out and you're playing in a ballpark like Houston where you can literally try to drag your bat through the zone and hit it to left. Otherwise, you're just trying to fight the pitcher. I mean, they're not giving you much to play with, so it's not like you can, you know, take an opportunity to really manipulate the ball a whole lot.
2-2 to Arenado. Stays alive.
But I do like this lineup here now with Gorman in between Goldie and Arenado instead of Contreras. No knock on Contreras, but I think you either put Goldie and Arenado back to back and somebody in front of them, or you split them up with a left-handed power bat.
Arenado out to right center, and Scope makes a nice play moving back. Paul Goldschmidt puts the Cardinals on top. Nobody's getting this one. 1-0 Cardinals. Start the second inning with a 1-0 lead for Steven Matz. Andy Ibanez faces Matz. So, as we asked, Matz delivered. Good first inning.
Well, it's got to feel good getting a lead, right? They say they were 2-15 when the opponents are scoring first.
Ibanez has only faced Matz a couple of times, 0 for 2. This inning we'll see Eric Haas and then Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera, as you saw in the pregame, honored before this game for a tremendous career. Legendary. As Ibanez sends this one out to left. Long way and off the top of the wall. Ibanez makes his way into second, sliding in there with a double. Gets a hold of that one, and
yeah, I was going to say that ball was rifled and it almost gave Donovan a chance to throw him out at second base, but I think it surprised him. It bounced right back in his hands.
Yeah. I mean, they got it in quickly. He had to turn on the jets and slide in there. So Eric Haas
I'm going to have to say that Donovan out there in the outfield probably got the weaker of the 3 arms, being an infielder primarily.
Carlson in center, Nootbaar in right. Nootbaar made a tremendous throw yesterday.
Here's another guy with Haas, is hot too in his last 10 games. 313. Another guy you got to be careful with.
Now Haas dangerous for sure. Yesterday had a hit, scored on a sac fly, walked. Day before had a hit and a walk. Sees a couple of change-ups from Matz and then a sinker there. Big start for Steven Matz. Had a tough year to say the least. No fun when you're sitting there with an 0-4 record and a 6.39 ERA. Off to a good start in the first inning, and now the Tigers threatening here in the second with a runner in scoring position. There you see Ollie, Dusty Blake, and who's that on the right?
Contreras. See, that's the thing, though. That's when this is how you, and like I said, I don't know the whole story about what they're thinking with him, but he is new to this team, and there's a lot of these guys that have been around. But if you're not playing and you're part of this everyday lineup stuff, you should be sitting right there next to those guys, at least learning the game, you know, over time.
That is the plan, to be able to work with him and work on pitching. And here is Miguel Cabrera. This is August 22nd, 2021 at Toronto. Home run number 500 off Steven Matz, the Blue Jays starter.
Well, I'm glad he's on the mound and not in the clubhouse watching our highlights right now. Just see that.
So here we go. Another meeting between these two, and a chance for Cabrera to drive in a run.
I think if you're going to pitch Miggy right now, you're going to have to pound him in. He's looking to hit the ball the middle away. He drives the breaking ball into left center, still as good as anybody, but he's trying to hit the fastball up the middle and the other way, so don't give him a fastball out there.
He lifts this one into right, and Nootbaar makes the play. Well, Nootbaar has just freakish athletic ability, doesn't he?
I like him. He just, like I said, he's got a good arm. He plays great defense. I'm telling you, if you play him every day, he's going to hit, and he's got more power than you would think. And you've seen him now in the locker room. He's a big kid. Like, he's tall, he's built. Like, when you watch him on TV, you don't think he's as big as he is.
No, he is also filled with personality. I mean, we saw it
that's
in the World Baseball Classic, but in the Cardinals caravan, had a chance to spend a weekend with him, and he was just a magnet to Cardinals fans, but he went to them too. I mean, he wanted to be with them, wanted to talk, loves talking ball and all sports, has a lot of different interests. Great athlete growing up in a number of sports.
I never realized he was 6'3". You know, he's 6'3", 220. Like I said, he surprised me when I saw him, and then I thought, as well as he moves around, that's a really nice combination for the power.
Jonathan Scope, as the Tigers are trying not to strand a runner here at second. A leadoff double for Ibanez. Haas grounded out. Cabrera flew out. Scope looking for his first RBI of the season. Matz with a chance to put it away here, 2-2. Kisner will take it.
Good boy.
And takes care of the Tigers in the second inning. 1-0 Cardinals. And here is the aforementioned Wilson Contreras, hitting in the 5 spot in the order today. Contreras hit 3rd in the first 2 games of this series. That spot today is occupied by Nolan Gorman, who's playing second base. Back feels better, so he can hit and field.
We assume.
So we're told.
Sometimes you just have to go out there. It's like when you're really sore and they ask you, can you hit? You're like, yeah, sure, I can go out there and give it a try. And then like, okay, you're playing tomorrow. You're like, wait, it's not that good.
Contreras was 1 for 5 yesterday with a couple of strikeouts. Exact same thing on Friday, and here a bobble, and he reaches safely. Baez couldn't get a handle on it against his former teammate.
Trying to be too quick. He knows Contreras can run. He bobbled it once, bobbled it twice. He might have bobbled it 3 times.
It's an error on Baez. And Contreras is aboard to lead off the second inning. Here's Donovan. Brendan got off to that scorching start in spring training with that renewed swing and power. Here's an example of a player that we were just talking about, where baseball starts to see more of him and pitchers adjust.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing for him with the adjustment is, like I said, when you get a pesky hitter that has power early in the count, will let it fly, but then will shorten up and battle you. You have to challenge him. You can't keep nibbling. And those guys, if you nibble to these guys, they always win.
On deck, Dylan Carlson. Here in the second inning, Cardinals with a home run in the first from Goldschmidt and another base runner for Faedo to deal with. That's Contreras. And Faedo sends him back to first. We saw some good base running from Contreras in the first game in this series on Friday night. Donovan into right for a hit. Contreras will hold at second base, and it's first and second, and nobody out.
2 strikes, 85 miles an hour, base hit. That's what we were just talking about. It's a good pitch, too. He has to go down and get it. But it's an off-speed pitch. It's like a changeup right there. That's such a great piece of hitting. I mean, even if you're out right there in a line drive, to hit that ball with 2 strikes on the nose and put it in play is a tough job.
Carlson hit a 3-run bomb in the second inning yesterday. It's a home run rip there.
Got himself a breaking ball that stayed up just long enough. I thought that was pretty cool. We showed yesterday the bat coming through the zone on the StatCast situation in the blue area, the barrel, and matched up perfectly with the ball. Doesn't happen a lot.
As you said, round bat, round ball.
Oh, that's my... Sometimes you just have to use that as that's how it goes. How'd I miss that? Well, round bat, round ball. It's not that easy.
Edman on deck, Kisner behind him.
Remember that show, Sports Science?
Yes.
I wish they would do a sports science on how little the variation would be for the ball and the bat to hit flush.
Nice play there. Can they get two? No.
Nice hustle right there by Dylan Carlson. Nice job. You know what that does right there? That sets up a man with third with only one out. Really nice job. He knows what's at stake. He knows he's got a chance to beat out this double play ball. Thank you for the shift again. It's funny, I was talking to a couple of the players down in the locker room today for a long period of time, and shall be nameless, but they handed me one of the cards and they said, "What do you think about this?" And I started laughing. And I said, "By now you guys should know exactly what's going on the field. You shouldn't need these cards." And he said, "Okay, well, that's a given, but..."
That one's in left field. Tagging and taking off and scoring is Contreras.
Why you run right there, especially with the catcher. That's weird, though. You think about it, the catcher playing left field. What's a different throw? He threw it about, what's home to second? About 120 feet or so? Well, he threw it about 120 feet right there. It's right on the money for tagging the guy out at second, but yeah, it's not enough for the home plate.
Tigers appeal. They throw over to third. Contreras
got a boy
tagged and went home correctly.
Correctly. Baseball 101.
Yep. So runner in scoring position for Kisner. Carlson took second on that throw.
So back to my story, I'm sitting around and I'm sitting with an infielder, outfielder, a couple of infielders / outfielders and an infielder. And we were talking about that, and not particularly our team, but then we started talking about Newbar and how he got 3 infield hits and they had played him to pull and pitched him away. And I had said, cards are great, but you have to pay attention to the game yourself. And if you're not moving on the pitch with the count, with the idea, then that's your own fault. And you should have enough guts at this level to go to the coach and say, "Hey, I moved over a little bit because I thought the fastball was going to be away." Also, you also have to know if your pitcher can hit his spot or not. And that's key too. You can move all over the place when Wainwright's pitching and usually when Michaelis is pitching, because they're going to hit their spots. So you can play the count and the pitch.
Down the right field line, Torkelson can't make the play.
And the right fielder has to catch that ball. That's the second time in 2 days we've seen bad communication between the outfielder and the infielder. There's just no excuse for this as a right fielder. He just gave up. Just common sense to me tells me that that is a tough play on the infielder. I need to bust my butt to help him out. Not like, he's going to catch it. What's the difference nowadays? Guys aren't paying attention. This is what we were just talking about. You got to play the game. You got to play the card. So when the ball goes up, you know it's tough on your infielder. Come get it. At least make an effort. I'd rather see the outfielder come flying in, call it, get him out of the way, and slide and just come up short than that to happen right there.
No error on Torkelson, by the way. No play there.
I think that should be an error, shouldn't it? They just gave it an error. No?
No. That error's on Baez from earlier. So Kisner still alive, 1-2. Out to left. On the run, Haas stops and makes the play. But the Cardinals get a run. And after 2, they lead it 2-0.
Put together a full game yet. Tom Nolan told me I don't feel comfortable talking about what the team should be doing when I haven't done a whole lot myself. Hopefully, he's about to break out of it.
Jimmy, he is one of the most intense players we have ever been around. Incredibly competitive, hard on himself, wants to win more than anyone here. There is no doubt about that. Sometimes that can be hard on somebody. It can be the reverse. You're too tough on yourself. You're too intense.
I think he got himself a fresh haircut today, too.
Steven Matz. So far, so good for the Cardinals starter. AT&T Fiber fast pitch. Steven Matz with the bases empty and with runners on. I remember the first time seeing him in spring training as a Cardinal. I thought, well, gosh, does he work fast? I'm gonna like this. That was before the pitch clock, and also was impressed with the velocity on his fastball. He can get it up there.
I like that, especially being from the left side, especially if you pitch in. I don't know, it's just such a crazy dynamic if you can throw strikes inside. And even more so, I've seen lefties with the little crossfire. It's even more of an advantage for some reason. I don't know why, but the right-handers cannot stop pulling off.
This one is in play for Nootbaar. Makes the catch in fair territory.
I think that's what, like, at times why Randy Johnson was so successful is he could spot the ball on the inside corner to righties, crossfiring, and then you had to speed up, and guys would start swinging before a slider even got halfway to the plate.
Javi Baez crushed one up the middle for a base hit last time up. He's now 6 for 10 against Matz. We will go to Javi's old ballpark tomorrow, Wrigley Field, Cardinals and Cubs. Cardinals are going to try to get on that plane a winner. It has been a while. 8-game losing skid for this club. Record of 10 and 24.
Look at Javi's hands right here. Look at the gap between his top hand and his bottom hand. You don't see that very often, if at all.
This one out to right for Nootbaar. Makes the grab, and Matz gets through another frame. The Cardinals in front. Your home run, crushing that one at Shea Stadium. Fastest to reach the milestone in Major League history. That season went on to hit a staggering 70 home runs.
How about the crouch he was in right there?
Oh, man.
And as he got older, he kind of stand up more because his knees were bothering him. But it looked like every time he made contact with the home run, like it was, you were never going to see where it landed. You know?
Yeah, that one's fair, and Nootbaar is out at first. What was it like watching that in '98 from your perspective?
Well, I was in Anaheim. Yeah, still. I mean, I know you know that, but it was really interesting is there's been a few times in my life when, you know, you're witnessing things, and I have an older daughter, and I used to make her come and sit, and I think she was pretty young at the time, and I said, watch this, this is history, you're gonna, and sit down and watch the news, so she could see. And it was funny because she was old enough to remember, and she told me one day, she's like, I remember watching some of these as a kid, and I just thought, man, this is history, you should watch this each and every night. It was cool. I think that one of my most unfulfilled parts of my career were, I wish I was here in '98. You know, I got traded just a little too late, but it was really cool.
Late in spring training of 2000, you came over.
I mean, just the electricity and the fun of it. I mean, there's just, I can't even imagine, because being here when he was still half of a player because he was so hurt with his knees and just beat up, watching him go out there and doing what he did with his eye for strikes and balls, his power, his calmness, was just a sight to see, and it was just so cool to watch. And every day you thought, man, he could hit this ball 500 feet at any given time. He went like two months in either 2000 or 2001 where he didn't hit a single. But every ball he hit was a home run. And he was only hitting 200, but it was like 10 swings were 10 home runs and not another hit.
Paul Goldschmidt already has one. There's a long one. Way out to right center. And see you later. Another one for Paul Goldschmidt. His second of the day.
Take a look at the Chevy pitch tracks replay. Just a heater that just didn't get where he wanted it. Got way too much plate. I think he made the adjustment from yesterday. Wow. Told you, as a hitter, if you go 0 for 3 with 3 strike, or 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in a double play ball, I don't know, from my perspective, it can get any worse. So I'm really not going to want to do that the next day. See if we can get a good look at this swing. This is just so good balance-wise. Look at that.
Goldschmidt's 25th career multi-homer game, second this season, as he had one April 26 against San Francisco. This one is caught in left center by Green off the bat of Gorman. It's the 109th time in his career that he's hit a home run with 2 strikes. And
well, you
what
see
a start
swing.
to the day.
Actually, that's even more interesting, because you notice on the side step of the side shot replay, he didn't stride. He just kept his feet down and stayed balanced. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. When you start doing that as a player, and not of Goldschmidt caliber, but of a younger guy, you start to realize how little movement you need to generate power.
This one is ripped way up into the air in left, but it'll be caught just in front of the track by Haas. But Goldie does it again. A home run, his second of the game. And the Cardinals lead it 3-0. Of Goldschmidt's home runs this season have been solo shots.
That's not good. But you know what? You take them as you can get them, and you worry about the RBIs later.
Riley Green leads off for the Tigers. Steven Matz, so far so good. 2 hits allowed, no runs. Lefty, lefty, and Green.
Where are we at? May 7th. He's okay right now. 18 RBIs. It's not bad.
Yeah,
doing some damage other than the home runs, and that's what he does. He, you know, he drives and runs because he can hit the breaking ball, and that's what you get. You see a lot of guys that drive in a lot of RBIs are breaking ball, breaking ball hitters. They have to be able to. Scott Rowland, a perfect example. He could hit a breaking ball with anyone, and that's why he always drove in so many runs.
Good play by Gorman. Relive the excitement of the 2013 National League Championship Series on Saturday, May 20th. 25,000 fans aged 21 and older will receive a beer stein, courtesy of Budweiser, that highlights the National League Championship, a pennant win over the Dodgers. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions. Torkelson now in against Matz. with one away. Nice play there by Nolan Gorman. Hammers one out to right center.
Oh.
That ball is gone.
That's loud, and I didn't think it was going to go that far, but I told you the ball's carrying today. And it gets hot. Ball flies here, especially when the flags are moving.
Spencer Torkelson is third of the season. That one 418 feet, 105.3 off the bat of Torkelson.
Such a good swing, too. Man, look at these guys staying back, crushing balls.
Ibanez doubled his first time up. So Torkelson, who had 2 hits yesterday and a double the day before, leaves the yard for the first time in this series. 16 RBIs for him. And now Andrew Kisner wants to have a talk. This is where you got to get Matt settled.
You're right, you do. It's a good spot to talk right here.
Now a quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Sometimes you just need to talk it out. Get all your banking questions answered and find the right options to fit your life with your own personal Great Southern Bank support team.
Steven Matz, as we were saying, this is where things have started to slip for him. Can he not have the blow-up inning here, get through after a home run by Torkelson?
Well, and that's the thing, too. The other part of it was Ollie had said he waits until this happens to get fired up, and I think he's done a good job so far really being able to pitch. He just made a bad pitch early on, or that pitch to Torkelson was just a bad pitch up to a guy who has power. I'll take that as long as he stays on top and keeps going. You know, the knock is giving up the runs and then going and getting a shutout inning. So just see how he keeps cruising right here.
Carlson called off Nootbaar there for that fly out.
It's a big game for him right here, I think. You got to get into the win column, especially for this team right now. They'd like to go home and get on this flight for me as a pitcher and say, I did it. I finally righted the ship. I did a nice job today myself. I didn't contribute to the losing streak. It's kind of how you have to approach it.
Wants to be such an important part of this team and obviously wants to continue to be part of this rotation. Got to think there are a lot of things on the line here as Steven Matz works in this 4th inning with a 3-1 lead. Sun is shining here at Busch Stadium. Nice crowd is filled in here.
Tommy, tell them how beautiful it is at the ballpark today.
It is perfect. And if you're in the area, as Mike Shannon would say, come on down. Grab a ticket and get in here. Still some baseball to be played.
Lots.
Mike would say this is a luscious day downtown.
Ooh. You've listened to your fair share of KMOX.
Miss him. Here's the 3-2. Up the middle, base hit. 2 strikes burn the Cardinals after what had been really a good sign. Yesterday, Cardinals pitching staff held the Tigers to a 158 average with 2 strikes.
See where this pitch is at right here. Tries to get inside and just gets it right down the middle.
So after Torkelson hits his first home run since April 19th, Ibanez flies out. Haas delivers the hit, and here's Cabrera to third, gets past Arenado and bounces off the wall, and now the runner will hold at third, and Cabrera is going to go back to first. So Miguel Cabrera sends the runner over to third base, first and third for the Tigers.
Take a look at this bounce here at the end. It almost looked like he had it and then just, oh, he just missed it. So weird how you can see different things from way up here versus down there. It's like, first it looked like he was kind of thinking he was going to catch it and kind of had a shorter, reach, and then all of a sudden it jumped on him and he had to reach out and missed it. The ball's top spinning.
Up in the air. Nootbaar makes the play, and Matz gets out of it. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cards lead 3-1.
But also understanding the Cardinal pitchers. Thomas, we saw hanging with Dusty Blake in the dugout. Part of that learning process.
Yeah, it's good reporting, Jim, and certainly it is a big storyline here as the Cardinals at 10-24, recognizing what they need to do to be better and trying to adjust accordingly. And there's another side of it where you look at somebody who was brought in, big contract, big expectations. The biggest thing of all is you've got to replace Yadier Molina, and there is no one on the planet that can do that. I mean, based on not only his ability, but the amount of time that he spent here.
And you know what? And I think that is a great example of a lot of things trying to do all that, and it's pretty obvious to the world. But if the team and the player thinks about that, they're just going to blow up. There's no point. So you're going to say as a team, this is what we're going to miss out of here. Someone needs to pick up the slack. So what does that mean? One of the coaches needs to work harder working with him. One of the players needs to step up and help him. One of the players needs to step out up on the field and do more, or be a leader. Someone else has to step up. You can't put it on his shoulders. And that's just a team player recognizing that we have a hole in our unit, and that person's gone. For example, the first year I got here, Mark McGuire was here, Thomas Howard, Sean Dunson, Eric Davis. I say this a lot. Best 4 veterans you could ever ask for to play with as far as a team. Mark a little quiet, but those other 3 guys kept the team in check. They were gone the next year, right? Yeah. And so guys had to step up. And you're never going to have that situation again. You're never going to have those type of guys, and you're never going to have Yadier Molina again. So somebody else has to do the work.
Torkelson calls him off, makes the play.
What's the pitcher doing right there? Did you see that? Someone's got hit in the head. He's like standing right in front of the first baseman.
Faedo able to get out of the way.
He almost didn't get out of the way. Get out of the way.
No, it's a really good example, Jim. And, Contreras is your teammate now. He is going to be here for a while. It is going to take everyone to know what their role is on and off the field to pull this team through this.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not his responsibility at all. He can't carry Molina's shoes passing forward. It's not his job. He shouldn't even have to worry about it. He should just be him. Cardinals picked him to be the next catcher. That's what he should do. That's it. Learn as fast as you can and do the best you can. We've already seen that he can, the hole that Yadi left with the the bat, he runs. He's got a great arm. He does all those things. Was he going to be familiar with the catcher and the pitching staff? No, but that's part of it, and that's where your pitchers have to take advantage of their smarts from being around the league. You know, your younger players, you're going to have to lean on the coaching staff a little bit and the catcher. But your older pitchers, they can dictate what they want to do and how they want to do it.
Donovan with a little line drive up the middle that's caught by Green. Last month, thousands of Cardinals fans came together at the Cardinals 5K to raise over $40,000 for the Cardinals Care Redbird Rookies program and the Gateway PGA Reach Foundation. Bally Sports Midwest is proud to help support these local youth programs. You can still sign up for the virtual 5K at cardinals.com/5K. Dylan Carlson now. 2 away here. Cardinals with the lead and looking for more. Carlson reached on a fielder's choice his last at bat. Sends this one out to left to the track, and Haas is there, bangs into the wall and makes the play. Cardinals finished with 4 with the lead. With .228 average, pair of home runs, hit one on opening day. Steven Matz back out there. James Nail is warming up in the bullpen for the Cardinals.
That's tough for O'Neill too. I was really excited for him this year. Did you see he hit like .665 in the WBC? It's ridiculous.
Playing for Team Canada.
.665 or something like that. I'm like, wow, got off to a good start. Only problem with that is when you're hot, you know, you had to fly back, take a couple of days off to rest, and it's tough to get started again.
To shortstop. Edman makes the play. On Sunday, May 21st, the Cardinals host the Dodgers, and 25,000 fans age 16 and older will take home a Cardinals golf umbrella, green umbrella featuring iconic Cardinals Hall of Famers. For tickets and info, visit cardinals.com/promotions. This one grabbed by Arenado. What a play! Nolan dazzles again.
Such a great angle right here. Step and a dive. Take a step, then the dive. That's all you got. That's all the time you get.
Gearling's like, oh man, I've hit it into one of the greatest to ever do it. So 2 quick outs for Matz. Now Baez. Steven at 75 pitches. Baez shoots one right past him, but there is Gorman. Cardinals hold the lead.
That's so cool.
So good. Both of them in those great settings.
You know what? I didn't go into the wall at the Green Monster until I was like 36 years old. Just never even thought about it. And going inside that wall is so incredible.
Out to left center. Green takes care of business there, and Edman is out.
There's autographs in that inside that wall in the room there behind the Green Monster. They've been there since the 40s and 30s. It's insane. You get a baseball autograph 5 years ago and it disappears, but you go in the Green Monster and you can see Ted Williams' autograph and all these other people that have been in there forever. I don't know. It's just an historical place. It's pretty cool.
Remember a pretty special moment for me personally before the 2013 World Series. Of course, you all were there in 04, but to be able to take a tour before Game 1, really great.
Whoa.
2 strikes now on Kisner.
He just said that he went on that second pitch.
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about making your day tougher.
Andrew has caught all 3 games in this series. Home run in game 1. Get ready for more of that as Kisner will be taking some of the catching load along with Trace Barrera, who is here, and Kisner down on strikes. And right now, let's get a quick word from Victory Men's Health.
Say goodbye to feeling sluggish and weak and hello to a new level of strength and energy. Thanks to Victory Men's Health, men can regain their confidence once again. Visit VictoryMen'sHealth.com today.
Well, we have a pitching change. It's Tyler Alexander. The lefty comes in as a lefty Nootbaar waits. We'll be right back. Tyler Alexander.
Look at that, 3 days rest for a lefty. That's pretty good. He's thrown 1 pitch this whole week. How's that for nice work of a week of work?
Since April 15th, the Detroit bullpen has been the best in baseball with an ERA of 2.16. Also the fewest allowed hits at 45 is this lefty-lefty matchup featuring Nootbaar against Alexander. See the numbers, bottom right corner of your screen. Nootbaar hitting .400 against lefties.
Not if he gets that cutter a foot off the plate. Called the strike. Alexander pretty much has it all too. He's got fastball, cutter, slider, and change. The good news is when you see guys like this and you're a lefty, usually doesn't throw all those pitches to the lefties, usually saves those to the righties. Mostly going to be fastball, cutter, slider. Everything usually running away. So he tries to get in with the fastball.
Nootbaar to second base. Scope makes that play, and Alexander takes care of that. We go to the 6th. And receive 2-for-1 Cardinals tickets. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. Cardinals Steven Matz. 1 run allowed through 5, working the top of the 6th against the Tigers. James Nail has been warming up in the bullpen, and after this lefty-lefty matchup, we shall see if Nail indeed gets the call.
Matz is reaching out there for that strike that Nootbaar got called against him. I can't just go off the plate a little bit.
Taking there on 3-0.
Got to stay out there on this guy. He has been hot.
Ten-game hitting streak for Green. 3 hits last night. Came in, got a double on Friday night.
Good job right there, Sting. With the fastball, keeping it in the zone. Do not give in just because a lot of lefties tend to, at the end of the game, try to get the lefty out on his own. You just got to keep going after him. Even though he's hot, you got to make him earn his way on.
So far, a strikeout and a ground out to second on a really nice play by Nolan Gorman back in the 4th. Matt's 84th pitch is hit to Gorman. Makes the play. And now a quick word from BJC Healthcare. And as we suspected, that's it for Steven Matz. A pitching change. James Nail gets the call when we come back.
Don't think about when we're up here. You're one walk and either a homer or a hit and another hit from tie game. So you really have to be careful because every base runner from here on out is a big one.
That one is fouled out of play. Steven Matz.
It's on his phone already, texting home. I did it. No, I think he did exactly what was needed. I'd like to see him go and finish this inning, but talked about him turning it around, and today he did. I think that's pretty good.
James Nail in the game. Torkelson with a home run already. Let's go to Jimmy the Cat Hayes.
Tom, James Nail was DFA'd by the Cards in the offseason, cleared waivers, and went back to Memphis. He said he worked in the offseason with Dusty Blake. He said he added some sweep to his breaking pitches and worked on his lower body and leg strength. So he says he's added a tick or two to his fastball, a little more velocity.
Jim, thank you. The pride of Charleston, Missouri. First team All-Stater at Charleston High School. Played at UAB, Parkland, Illinois Community College. They love him down in Charleston. He was out there before the game catching the ceremonial first pitch, and here he is on the mound
Throwing
in a 3-1 ball game, throwing pitches.
I wonder if he throws as many pitches in this inning as they did for the first pitches on the field. You remember when there used to be a first pitch?
Yeah,
now there's first pitches.
They hand out those opportunities, that's for sure. Miguel Cabrera was also part of the pregame festivities. Honored for his incredible career. 3-2 to Torkelson is hammered out to right center for a hit. Torkelson speeds around the bag but heads back to first.
Take a look here at some of the Chevy pitch tracks. You can tell even from here the ball is up and out over the plate. And he does a nice job of staying back and hitting the ball the other way. Isn't Torkelson the one who drove the ball down the right field line or into the right field corner yesterday with a fastball up and away in the situation where he needed to move a runner over? He just kind of stayed back, did a nice job. It almost reminded me of like what Yadi Molina used to do when he really needed to move a guy over. He just dragged the bat through the zone, get some length, and push it over to the right side.
So he is aboard with a hit, and with Nick Maton coming in as a pinch hitter with one out, they're going to talk it over with Nail. Meanwhile, lefty Jojo Romero is warming up in the bullpen.
Nice to get a ground ball double play right here, huh? Maybe let Ollie breathe a little bit.
Trying to protect this 2-run lead, no question. Boy, would that be something.
You got to stay down and away from this guy. He's looking to get the ball in the air. Even though he's not a big guy, he just has that type of swing.
Maton also from the area, just south of Springfield, Illinois, Chatham, Illinois.
Right down there, but down.
Big pinch hit situation for Maton. Big moment for James Nail. Maton granted time. He steps out. Torkelson's the runner at first. . 2 It's lifted, a line drive, caught on the run by Nootbaar.
He gets such a great jump on this ball. It is ridiculous. Look, he's already running.
Great view there.
Attaboy, Michael Jordan. That's such a great play. That is the hardest play in baseball for an outfielder, is that low line drive that's sinking. Is that ball it turns into a do or die, because if it keeps sinking and you're thinking about catching it, your next mission is, how do I stay in front of this without getting hit in the face or anywhere else on the body, and then keeping it in front of you for it not to be a triple. And you're all alone out there. You know, it's like if you're in center and you're coming straight in and you think, if I miss this ball, it's a home run. There's nobody around me to help me.
Lots of talent in that player. To short. Bobbled, and runners are safe. Edman couldn't make the play, and it's first and second.
Ball just ate him up a little bit. Can't really tell by that replay if it hopped up on him a little, but ideally you don't want it to hit you in the hand. You want it to go in that web.
It's an error on Edman, and it's Miguel Cabrera.
Can't pitch him out there.
Cabrera with a hit out to left that got past Arenado. That was in the fourth. This one's hit out to left center, and it's going to score a run. Carlson makes the play, gets it back in. Miguel Cabrera has an RBI single, and it's 3-2.
Pulls his hands in. This ball doesn't get in enough, but even if it does, what a great swing to be able to pull your hands in like that. And Tom, that is RBI 1,850. 1,850. 51, sorry. 1,851. I'm overwhelmed by the number 50 in itself. Wow, it's a lot of RBIs.
It is amazing. Ollie Marmol is going to come out and make a pitching change.
And that's hit 3,100, by the way.
Unbelievable career. Jojo Romero will come in to try to settle things down. We'll be right back. Albert Pujols, 3,100 hits now. The home runs, the RBIs. 12-time All-Star Miguel Cabrera. Triple crown in his MVP season of 2012. Then he came back and won another MVP in 2013. Silver Slugger 7 times for Miguel Cabrera. Meanwhile, the runners are at first and third. Haas went to third on the hit by Cabrera after reaching on an error, extending this inning. And McKinstry is batting against Romero. Yet another tense moment at Busch Stadium. We've had too many. Way too many.
I don't know what's going on your side of the building, but it's not tense over here yet.
So McKinstry walks. And the bases are loaded for Rogers. That's the task for JoJo Romero to keep this a 3-2 game. See, the career bases loaded. 1 grand slam, 333 average.
I think this is where the shot clock, pitch clock really hurts, guys. Is when you come into the bullpen and you get the bases loaded. It's just not natural to throw a pitch and just walk back up on the mound and like get back up there and be ready to go. You got to give yourself a minute. What's working? You know, right there, he's already probably a little bit rushed. It looked like he was rushed against McKinstry. I think this is the part of the game that's going to suffer the most with the relievers. You know, you can't go back there and take a breath. You could just watch from a distance a little bit. If we weren't so zoomed in on him, you could just see the natural progression of a pitcher is just not going on right now. With their normal mannerisms.
Big cut from Rogers. And it's a full count with 2 outs. And on top of that, it's 88 degrees. And so we're seeing this for the first time, these hotter temperatures
It's
at
going
Busch
to
Stadium.
keep getting hotter.
Runners will go here. And it's out to left. A long way and gone. A grand slam for Rogers.
That's just a fastball up and out over the plate. And the sad thing to say is that's exactly where it should end up.
It's a 5-run inning for the Tigers and counting. 413 feet out of here for Rogers at 104.6 on the exit velocity. Oh boy. Bierling now. Edman makes a sliding play and gets the final out, but the damage done. It's a 6-3 ball game. The Tigers in front. What started as a 3-1 Cardinals lead turned into a 6-3 Tigers advantage after a 5-run 6th. Paul Goldschmidt already with 2 home runs today. Sends this one out to center, drops in for a hit. Goldie's 3 for 3. T-Mobile coverage cam.
That is his second home run right there today, and that's a 2-strike home run. No stride, perfect balance, perfect swing. Pretty good for 2 strikes. You know it's not good for 2 strikes. That was the Cardinals' 21st home run given up with 2 strikes this year. 21st with a 2-strike count.
Never would have imagined that happening ever.
Ooh,
that hit him. Gorman is hit. He'll take his base. First and second. Cardinals have something cooking here in the bottom of the sixth.
Well, the thing is, too, is it's not a good spot. Opposing teams are hitting .210 against the Cardinals with 2 strikes, which you wouldn't think that was bad, right? That's the worst in the baseball at .210, so that's kind of shocking, too.
Tigers are going to make a pitching change as Alexander leaves and Mason Englert will step in. Will return right after this. Slash theme. Mason Englert comes into the game. Chevy called to the bullpen. He'll go up against Nolan Arenado. Cardinals gave up 5 runs to the Tigers in the 6th, down by 3. They put the first 2 on. And now the runners go and advance and no throw. And the Cardinals put 2 in scoring position.
This is what happens when you don't pay attention coming out of the bullpen. This is what they do better than any other team in baseball. They will find a way to take advantage of you not paying attention. Oh.
Smoked foul by Arenado.
Credit that to Pop Warner. He watches hours and hours of pitchers and their tendencies and when they throw over and when they don't throw over, and if they look to the plate, do they go home, do they pick off? So that man right there deserves a lot of credit for the stolen bases on this team.
4th steal for Goldschmidt, 3rd on the season for Gorman. Arenado fouls another off. Cardinals just 4 for 23 with runners in scoring position in this series. Timely hits. Nobody out. Arenado put one into Big Mac land yesterday. Had 2 hits the day before that. Facing an 0-2 pitch from Englert here. Nolan to short. Gets through. Baez. Run scores. It's 6-4.
Just keep playing. You just never know.
Second error of the game for Baez. Wilson Contreras. Arenado gets an RBI. That's 18 on the season for him. He stands at first. Gorman at third. Contreras at the plate.
You've got to get a run here. This is just nothing else other than put the ball in play. Don't care if it's a double play, fly ball, just get it into play, please. These are the runs that have to be scored in order to make a comeback. If you can't score here, you just keep it at 2 runs instead of 1, and the 1-run deficit is easy to come by. Come back from that anyway. You could just see a perfectly good reason right there. Put the ball in play, make an error, anything can happen. But down 2, need a lot of work. Wow. Whew.
Got a piece. Cardinals have 4 hits on the day. Home run by Goldschmidt in the first, in the third, and a single in the sixth. Only other hit is from Donovan in the second inning.
Would have been nice if that was put in play right there, huh? Hit that ball in the right field corner, you might get both guys to tag.
Got Nolans at the corners. Gorman, Arenado. The much talked about Wilson Contreras at the plate. Contreras hitting .233 this season with 2 strikes. Arenado took off for second on that.
How about that jump?
We'll take the trot back to first. There's your pitch sequence for Mason Engler.
He might have been halfway before the ball even crossed the plate.
Another 2-2 coming to Contreras. We'll do it again.
Come on, battle. Get this run in.
Nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 6th, a run is already crossed. Paul Goldschmidt scoring. He singled. Gorman was hit by a pitch. Arenado reached on an error. Here's Contreras.
You have a good at bat right here, and you get Donovan coming up, which you know he's going to have a good at bat.
Stays alive. Eleventh pitch of the at bat coming. Worked a 5-pitch at bat and a 7-pitch at bat in his first 2. This one is foul.
Tell you what, Maton almost caught that ball a little too early, didn't he? I think you have to let that ball go right there.
It's pretty close. Adrian Johnson, the crew chief, third base umpire.
Well, the thing for me is it's going foul for sure. If you catch that ball borderline and throw it thinking it's going to be foul, and you throw it like he did or throw it away, you just created a mess.
Full count, nobody out. One away.
He stayed inside so many pitches in this at bat, and then right there I think he thought he was going to get himself a heater. It's a really good pitch right there, by the way. Down and away. Started off on the plate, ended up disappearing.
Detroit bullpen's quiet. They'll talk it over with Mason Englert, who thus far has thrown 16 pitches. Now a quick word from Rally House.
Play ball, St. Louis. Shop the latest in Cardinals style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
Talk about great at bats. Brendan Donovan, more often than not, will give you one of those. And the Cardinals are desperate for one here. A golden chance to turn this game around. Contreras strikes out. First and third, one out now for Donovan.
Oh,
long way to right.
My
Deep.
gosh.
And see ya.
Well, I told you he was going to have a good at bat, but I didn't know he was going to go deep on the first pitch. Take advantage. Be ready to hit.
Brendan Donovan gives the Cardinals the lead.
I mean, this is a bomb for him, too. Down the line. Look at the pitcher. Aye. You can hear the dugout screaming. What a feeling right there.
103.9 off the bat. 407. That's how far that travels.
407 what? How did what's his name's ball go midway through Big Mac land and get 380 and that ball went 407?
I think this comes off a laptop and they read the numbers. Diving play not made as a tough one for McKinstry to get to, and rolls in a right for a hit for Carlson.
If I was going to guess, they were just somebody who was closing their eyes and heard the noise and thought, well, that one went 400. I mean, don't you have to hit, if you have to hit it in Big Mac land to left field and it's 380, don't you have to hit it in the second deck in right field for it to be 400?
I mean, he did hammer that thing.
Oh, he did.
However,
I'm going to give you that, but
it is down the line.
I mean, I mean, I'm not taking 407 away from him.
Yeah.
I'm saying, where was the 407 in Big Mac land?
Yeah.
Like you said, the Big Mac land stopped
It stopped the ball.
Arenado's ball from going 430.
Yeah. Well, the computer knows all, I guess, the software.
Oh, boy.
Big cut there from Tommy. So the Cardinals back on top, 7-6. A little life in that Cardinals dugout. All three of these games have been back and forth. Edman sharply hit, and play can't be made at third by Maton.
How about that?
The ball gets on you fast.
Well, I get that, right? And he does stay in front of it, and give him credit for that. But he still has the out if he doesn't go down there and grab it with his glove and his head's looking at second base. Stay with it. Take your time. If the play doesn't work out, the play doesn't work out.
It's an error on Maton. That's the third error for the Tigers today. All of them on the left side of that infield, with Maton and two on Baez at short. This is Kisner. So first and second. You can bet they'll keep an eye on the Cardinals runners this time. Left center is open for Kisner. Lefty warming in the pen for the Tigers, Tyler Holton. Kisner out to right. It carries. It's off the wall. Play at the plate. He is safe. Carlson scores.
Great job.
Eight, 6 Cardinals.
So much more fun when you're winning, huh? Guys can be more aggressive. They can run hard. Great swing, Kisner.
That's going to be it for Englert. A.J. Hinch makes the move, and the Cardinals up by 2. In downtown St. Louis, and it always feels better when the Cardinals can take a lead. They're up 8-6. Chevy called to the bullpen. Tyler Holton. Brendan Donovan turned this game back around with a 3-run homer here in the 6th.
Take a look at the runners right there at second and third. Old Newt at the plate. Still only 1 out.
Infield in.
Saw that Tyler Holton threw yesterday, only 9 pitches, so back in the game today.
Sizzling numbers with runners in scoring position for Newt, 462. Gets through. A run will score. They wave home a second to the plate. Safe. 2-run single, Lars Nootbaar.
Great job by Newt, just getting a pitch to hit. Made the mistake. He got away with the first one, threw it away. This one's over the plate. Tell you what, I didn't know Andrew could run like that. I thought for sure, because he went back to the bag for a split second, that he wasn't going to be able to score, and he was flying around third.
Kisner, good athlete, and the Cardinals have batted around. It's back to Paul Goldschmidt. To third. Maton bobbles this one. Quick throw to second. Safe.
Is that the third error of the inning right there?
Third error of the inning, 4th error of the game, and the Tigers just falling apart here in this frame. First and second, still 1 out for Gorman.
That's that same pitch right there, that upper edge outside. As a lefty, you can't really swing at it. It's getting too far away from you. Then he came back and got too close to the plate with Nootbaar.
Gorman up in the air. Torkelson gives chase in front of the Cardinals dugout, makes the play for out number 2. Arenado comes up to try to keep this big inning moving. Earlier in this inning, he reached on an error and scored on a home run by Donovan. By the way, Kisner on that hit snapped an 0 for 31 with runners in scoring position. That goes back to August of last year. This one gets away. Runners advance to second and third. The Cardinals in the middle of their longest losing skid since 2007 have gone up by 4 as they've erupted for 7 runs in this 6th inning. Arenado up the middle. Right there is McKinstry to make the play. But the Cardinals put up a big-time crooked number. 7 runs. Part of it, Brendan Donovan with the bomb. Cards up 10-6. The Tigers have committed 4 errors. Most by Detroit this season.
Well, 3 in that one.
Last time
right there,
they
right?
last time they had 4 was last July at Toronto.
Chevy call to the bullpen right here with Verhagen. Threw 15 pitches yesterday.
They committed 3 errors, the most they've had against the Cardinals since Game 1 of the World Series in '06. Somebody sitting to my right had a 2 for 4 day that day. Anthony Reyes went 8 that day in Detroit. Too short. Play made by Tommy Edman. Cancer Awareness Night presented by Mercy is Monday, May 15th. Fans purchasing a special themed ticket can choose a Cardinals Cancer Awareness cap representing one of the 11 most common types of cancer in St. Louis. Tickets and info at cardinals.com/theme. Drew Verhagen in the ball game. And Riley Green trying to keep his hitting streak alive. It's at 10 games. Baez with the ground out to short. Green has grounded out twice to second base and a strikeout. And there's another strikeout. Verhagen makes quick work of the 2 and 3 hitters.
Oh, 97 right there with the fastball. That's pretty good. I don't think he had that in him yesterday for some reason.
Torkelson has a home run today and a hit. It's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Verhagen has him quickly 0-2. 12 runs were scored in the 6th inning.
That is how you do it right there.
Verhagen, great work. Cardinals by 4. 7th inning stretch complete here at Busch Stadium. Bottom of the 7th. Wilson Contreras.
You know, we were talking about Wilson earlier, and I said I wanted to tell you something. And I read something the other day that I thought was probably a little bit of everything that I despise about the baseball side of the media. And it said Cardinals moving Wilson Contreras after he signed X amount of dollar contract. And right there puts doubt in everyone's mind of whatever happens before they even read the article. And that looks like they're getting ready to trade him. You know what I'm saying? And that's just unfair to everyone involved, including the organization. And so that's just added pressure that's not needed. And the funny thing is, you said, and I think we cleared it up pretty well, filling Yadi's shoes, that's not his job. That's everyone's job. And so that was one more piece to the puzzle I did not like. And I don't think that's fair to him or to Ollie or to the organization.
Contreras misses that one, and a strikeout of Wilson Contreras. If a Cardinals player hits a home run during this inning, your Gateway Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. There's a man who already has a home run today. Brendan Donovan hit a 3-run bomb last inning. And to your point, headline writing has changed somewhat in that you see more aggressive headlines.
Yes, just to get rid
to pull in
clicks. Yeah, clicks. I have to hear that damn word clicks anymore.
As Donovan is hit by the pitch and will take his base.
That hit him in the back leg, back knee. That's got to hurt. No, hit him in the elbow. That's a third guy in 3 days got hit in the same spot.
Veerling. Yep, and we saw it earlier from Gorman.
Oh, Gorman, that's right.
You know, there are a lot of great writers covering this game and do a very fair and honest job. And the majority of them do not write the headline.
Oh, I totally get that. And I'm not saying that.
But I know what you mean.
I just think it's just one more thing I mean, I know that everyone's trying to do their job. We're trying to do ours. I get, but it puts so much undue pressure on everyone when that's the first thing you see in the morning when you get up. And then, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. I still have I don't even know what you can call it, but I still have a sense of anger in my heart for that situation as an ex-player, because it always bothered me when things were written against my teammates. It didn't bother me so much with me because I kind of have a good self of control about what I'm trying to do, and unless I was really not doing my job. But I never, as a leader on a team, it always made me really angry that sometimes they would go after guys, you know. And it's an opinion sometimes, you know, whether the organization lets that out or not. Someone's opinion is, oh, well, he's not going to catch for a few days. Are they going to trade him? Are they going to put him at first? Or, you know, let's just back off and say he's probably not going to catch for a while, which one of the articles said he might DH, and see what happens. No speculations. I don't know why I always had a sensitive spot for that. And it's not sensitive, it's anger. It's still there too.
And there was probably a difference if it was someone that you saw in the clubhouse or someone that was doing it from afar who never.
Well, and I also think too, you don't understand how much work to put into the daily routine as a player. Sometimes you just can't help, good or bad.
Cardinals on top, 10-6. Cardinals with a 10-6 lead as we start the top of the 8th. It's Drew Verhagen, who had a tremendous 7th inning. 9 pitches, 8 strikes.
Wow. That's what you want to see. Felt like he was a little off yesterday. Velocity was 94. A lot of cutters. And I was trying to figure out why the velocity looked so low. It was 90, 89, 90, and those were cutters that you couldn't tell on TV. They just didn't have anything, have a lot of movement and anything behind him. Man, he looks sharp today.
Had an interesting conversation with him at the winter warm-up about his desire to be a starter, because he said, you know, I'd like a crack at this rotation. And he went into spring hoping to get a spot. Cardinals really wanted him in these situations, as it turns out. Yeah. On the run, Edman sprinting to make the play in shallow left field.
Take a look at Donovan right here. He's not a left fielder. Watch how hard he runs the whole way until he realizes he's not going to get there. Then he stops. He knows that's a tough play. He has to run back and catch that ball as a shortstop and a second baseman. You can never take that for granted. You run hard as an outfielder because that's your ball until you just can't get there.
This one's driven out to right and foul. Nice play by a fan. Sign him up.
Speaking
See
of
what he's got.
Speaking of running hard and outfielders, you see that my man Bader today was 3 for 5 with a homer on the Yankees today. You know he's with the Yankees, by the way.
Really like Bader.
Still in the heart.
Absolutely.
You know? Making a comeback from being hurt.
He really enjoyed being a Cardinal, I'll tell you that.
He's like a son to me. I don't know how many 3-hit games he's had while he was here, though.
Nice play.
Stay with it.
Knocking it down. And to Verhagen. 3-1.
I mean, how good is that guy?
Really good.
It's just, look at his face. That's like, watch this. No panic at all, right? Knocks it down. He just goes and gets it. He reminds me defensively of Scott Rowland. And then if you go straight from there to right there, he's just not breathing hard. He's just like, okay, next play. All right, who's hitting?
When you think about what we've had with
infielders,
Oberkfell, Hernandez.
Wow, you went deep.
You had, you know, Pendleton and Clark. You had Rowland, Pujols. But
that
really,
hurts.
really soak this in. Will we ever see corner infield tandem like
I'm going to say
Arenado
no.
and Goldschmidt?
And you don't. This is not good right here.
Ouch.
Oh,
ow!
That's why they put all that equipment on there, and then you could see with that open leg, it missed every piece of pad on Andrew's right foot.
Kiz says I'm
That's
good.
gotta hurt.
Yeah.
I don't care how tough you are.
Inside of the right foot.
Maybe maybe Miggy can sign the ball for him. The thing that's scary about that is if you see his feet, right? They have the front of the feet covered. But look at the side of his feet when he's just sitting there. You can see the whites of his cleats. There's a lot of empty space. Look at that. A lot of empty space down there. You would think they would start covering a little bit more of maybe the ankle bone, maybe the instep. If you really think about what they go through, look how very little padding they have on. Look at this, all his legs are wide open. Thighs, foot, arms, neck. And there's a lot of space to get damage.
And think of those like Yachty who did it year after year after year.
And then take a ball in the dirt. You know what's amazing too is you see Yachty a lot of times. These guys can read the ball in the dirt and their brain processes that slider so much for so long. When he goes down to block it, he realizes he's not getting there, and he'll throw his bare arm out there to get more shield. And a lot of times he'll block the ball with his bicep.
Verhagen gets Cabrera. Cardinals hold on to their 10-6 lead. In fact, they added to it. And by 4. And here's Andrew Knizner, who got popped on the right foot and stays in the game.
Oh.
Kisner has an RBI double in this ball game in that 7-run 6th inning. And as mentioned earlier, and worth mentioning again, it broke him out of an 0 for 31 with runners in scoring position. That had to feel good. Really a good weekend overall for Kis. Caught all 3 games. Home run in the first game on Friday.
Swing. Wonder how that right foot's feeling. Thank God it's his right foot, which is his back leg. If it's your left leg, I think you're going to have some trouble stepping. I think I saw today the first day of some real common sense by an umpire. So Kisner's leading off, right? Clearly he's beat up. Clearly he's got all the gear to take off. And he was running to the batter's box with like 12 seconds left to get in the box. And they gave him some extra time. So I have to give the umpire a little credit for paying attention to that right there, because we haven't seen a lot of that lately. We've seen a lot of people pushing the envelope on the time.
Kisner out to right center.
Go ball.
Has some distance. It's off the wall. Kis in with his 2nd double of the game.
Take a look at the Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks. This is just a slider slurve that gets a lot of plate. But let me just tell you what, that's a pitch that Andrew wasn't driving for a lot of time and a lot of games that he has played, because he plays so sparingly. All of a sudden you get in there 3 days in a row, and now you're starting to see and recognize more pitches, even though your feet hurt.
He was able to play quite a bit last season with Yadier Molina as the primary catcher, but Kisner saw some time as Nootbaar pops this one into shallow left, and making the play is the center fielder Green.
At least know one guy that you're going to be, or not you, but the people will be stepping over while he's on the plane with ice on his foot.
Cardinals heading to Chicago after this game. They'll take on the Cubs tomorrow night. Goldschmidt has 2 home runs on the day. Cardinals have 10 runs in this game. 2nd time this season they've scored 10 plus. Last time was April 19th against Arizona. Scored 7 runs in the 6th. It's the most they've posted in any single inning this season. They scored 8 in the 9th inning at Arizona last August. Most since then.
I mean, what better way to squash a 5-run inning but come back and score 7?
How about this one? So in that 6th inning, the Tigers scored 5 runs. The Cardinals scored 7.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I know, but I have a
oh, you got
I
something
have a
else.
stat on it.
Okay.
Both teams scored 5+ runs in the same inning. First time that that's happened since late last year in Major League Baseball.
Wow.
Where each team scored 5+. It happened at Fenway between the Orioles and the Red Sox. I always had a little something extra.
I was kidding. Just trying to, last day.
Yeah,
last day together.
I love it.
Won't see you for a while, so.
I know I got to get some of that. I'll tell you what, man, it's been fun doing this with you for sure.
Ditto. It's been amazing. It's fun to be a part of your first game. I wish I could have given you a beer shower like in the locker room, but you had a nice suit on, so we didn't get to go that route. Oh, my.
Launched out to left. Goodbye. 3 home runs for Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, I told you, there's nothing worse than going home after 3 strikeouts and a double play in holy balance. And he held it. Whew. That is a bomb. And by the way, is that another 2-strike homer?
Curtain call for Goldie.
Oh, no stride. Wow. That's so pretty. When it works like that, it is so pretty. Because you know how hard it is. That was a no-doubter.
Back-to-back days, and we've seen a ball go into Big Mac land.
Yeah.
Arenado last night. Goldie just destroys it.
He's not much of a curtain call guy, but
it's the second time as a Cardinal that Goldie has had a 3-home run game. Third time in his career, first since 2019 at Milwaukee.
.417 feet. I think they heard me complaining. I think that struck. That ball was hit so hard and so far it damaged somebody up there in the bleachers. Looks like they're tending to somebody. I mean, that's a bomb. How about another, just for fun?
Why not? Goldschmidt has actually tied Gorman for the team lead with 7.
That was quick. He was in 3rd place 2 days ago, a day ago.
Yeah, Edman had 5, and now Gorman walks.
Just ran right past Tommy Edman.
There's a smile out of Goldie.
Which, by the way, shouldn't be in 2nd place for homers on our team.
And Arenado comes up. I mean, the Cardinals, let's not forget, they were down 6-3 after a grand slam. I mean, another gut punch. As this one's fouled away by Arenado. And they come roaring back with a 7-run inning in the same inning, bottom of the 6th. And Goldie with a 3-homer day. How often do we say it? Your stars need to be stars and can carry you. And Goldschmidt with a monster day. 4 for 5 with 4 runs scored, 4 RBIs. Who wants this one? McKinstry will take it in right field.
Right fielders just do not want to catch the ball.
Wilson Contreras reached on an error, scored in the 2nd. Since then, he's popped out and struck out twice. To 3rd, Maton whips it across. Goldie does more damage. It's 12-6 as we head to the 9th. July 24th, 2019. Paul DeYoung did that at Pittsburgh. I mentioned earlier, Goldschmidt had a 3-homer day earlier that season against Milwaukee.
It was impressive too with the amount and the aggressiveness of the swing. He held his spot there for a second in that last home run. That shows you how amazingly important balance is. And look at this right here, multiple 3-home run games as a Cardinal. Welcome to the club.
Big time stuff.
Helsley coming in with the call to the bullpen.
Hells fires one in there at 100. Not available yesterday. Back today. Getting some work with a 6-run lead here in the 9th. Cardinals trying to lock up a win for the first time in quite a while. 8-game losing skid for this club.
See how well some of these left-handers stay on breaking balls on this Tigers team. It's amazing. What were we gonna say? Sorry.
Now see if they can go into Wrigley with a little something.
With a little momentum.
.102 on that one from Helsley. 14 games under 500. I mean, you can't win 14 in one day. It's a tremendous hole they've put themselves in, but what a response today. Now we got a pitch clock violation.
Uncle.
So Helsley now with the count 2-2. Zach McKinstry. Got him.
That's. Man, I don't know what this is. Is this a fastball right here at 102? It is. He just overcooks a heater down.
44,465 the announced attendance here at Busch Stadium on this Sunday afternoon.
The short hop by Kisner at 102. Not what you're expecting when you put down the old one finger. You see a lot of catchers go to a knee because they're expecting the ball to be thrown at least close to the strike zone. You're not expecting a fastball in the dirt at 100 miles an hour.
So at one point, Jake Rogers had the storyline all his own. A grand slam to put the Tigers up 6-3. They haven't scored since. Nootbaar. 2 away. Another note on Goldschmidt, now with 113 home runs as a Cardinal. That passes Scott Rowland, 20th on the Cardinals all-time list. Three home runs today. Cardinals put up a 7-run frame. Steven Matz started it. Ryan Helsley trying to end it right here. St. Louis native Vierling. Up the middle. Cardinals win. Hallelujah. Finally.
For your own sake. Oh, you're not coming back. Tell you what, Tom, that's a nice job right there. They could have easily folded in the 6th inning with a 5-run 6 by Detroit with a grand slam. And they came back and scored 7 runs in the 6th, 2 more in the 8th, and made it pretty much a blowout. So credit the Cardinals. They're playing hard. They just haven't been getting any wins. Hopefully this is a streak to go forward.
12-6. They double up Detroit.